Alrighty then. Go back to Katawa Shoujo.
Well, you're already welcome here. It's just more like back to Katawa Shoujo.
Yeah. Hey, you know, all are welcome to watch this.
Except I just said they weren't.
Chiga, why aren't they welcome?
I don't know.
You have a problem with people being welcome?
Sometimes. Depends on who's being welcomed.
People of all people are welcome.
As long as you're a person, you're discriminating against animals. Some people watch this with their cats. They're saying those who watch this with their cats aren't welcome.
All existence that exists
Darkness
in
doesn't
existence
exist,
is welcome.
Dale.
It does. Darkness is allowed to watch this video.
Maybe to you, but
everything with the mental capacity to watch this video is allowed to watch this video. How about that?
Maybe, sure. Go ahead. Are you saying that the babies and/or paraplegic vegetable people aren't allowed to watch this video?
Moving on. Listen, everything and everyone is allowed to watch this. Is that better?
Sure.
Everything that exists, even the
Except
stuff that doesn't exist.
How's that possible? Just read the video.
Let's take all the viewers we can get. I direct my attention to the track where it's preparing for the first sprint. It looks like the 400-meter dash. My eyes scan the runners before finding Emmy. She's smiling with an almost cocky look on her face. The starter raises his pistol.
You'll give her a cocky look in a different route.
Emmy explodes off the block, disappearing from the starting line in a blur. They're so close to get...
What? Oh, yeah,
Why are they so close to each other in the thing?
Why is she in
They're not running like a 5K or something.
What do you think her thing is?
It's a good question.
Stupidity? I'm
You know, didn't they say there would be people from other schools doing this too?
Oh, you're right.
That could just be a normal person.
Who's scared by all the crippled?
Exactly. It's like, that girl doesn't have a hand.
I am frightened. Of her handlessness.
Yep, exactly. I'm frightened of her leglessness.
Jeez.
Moving on. It's amazing. Even as the other sprinters converge on the lanes closest to the inside line, Emmy surges to the front of the pack.
We didn't wear that when I was in track. They had shorts, not Speedos.
I wouldn't call that a Speedo.
Whatever it is.
It's more like a bikini bottom, I guess, would be it.
It's more disgusting is what it is.
Hey, you know. By the time she rounds the final turn, a few of the other runners have caught up with her. But she puts on a final burst of speed, then leaves them at least half a second behind.
Nothing.
It is when you're running.
I'm running before Dale.
Yeah, but half a second is a lot. Hold on a second.
Well, back to my screen. Okay. Well,
nope. You're not getting back to anything. I refuse to let it happen. Miss Ibarasaki whoops and shouts, applauding loudly, and generally looking like any other parent cheering on their child.
Applying to jobs while cheering?
Yeah. Applying wildly. She's applying to 500 jobs at the same time.
Jeez, I wish I could do that.
Yeah. Yeah, why don't... I just realized that. Why don't they have a universal application? Just one you can sign and then send it off to other people. Doesn't make any sense.
Well, certain jobs require certain tasks.
I know, but just make a really generic one and then put maybe those specialized tasks in a separate application. Just so every time you don't have to fill out all of your information.
What if everyone says the same thing and you don't know who to hire?
No, I'm talking about like personal information. Like, why can't you fill out that stuff and maybe skills and stuff?
Isn't that what a resume is?
Yeah, exactly. But you don't want to make a different one for every single place.
You don't. You have a singular resume that you give to every place.
Point. I just realized that. Moving on. Amy Brown's looking pleased with herself. I cheer right along with the rest of them. The announcer, sounding suspicious like Nisha, gleefully gives the results.
I like our dynamic.
Yeah, you say stuff and I just move on. I think she's gotten faster since the last time.
She didn't have muscle. It's all robots. Nanomachines.
Hey, you know, you got the leg muscle and the half of her legs are still there.
Still nanomachines. Oh.
Yeah. Still there. That was incredible. Miss Ibaraki grins proudly.
Ibaraki?
Ibaraki. Ibaraki.
Red Dragon.
That means a heck of a runner. Yeah. We fall silent as the next event prepares to start. I'm surprised to see Emmy striding out onto the track again.
I don't think moms stand like that in a somewhat seductive manner.
Hey, didn't she just run?
Jeez.
Emmy's mother nods. Yes, but she runs multiple events for the team, especially the sprints. It's a lot of running, but Emmy can handle it.
And her heart explodes.
Yeah. It just started to spread to everybody else. The looks of things, she's right. Emmy doesn't appear to be tired, as if she hadn't run the previous event at all. If not for the sweat visible on her shirt, you'd never know.
Well, there's a reason. It's because half her legs aren't doing any work.
You know. The other half is doing a lot of work, though. Think about that. It's like she's running on her nubs, but there's something under her nubs.
It's like running with your knees, except with instead of knees, you have legs. It's like
it's like running with your knees, except under your knees there's shocks.
Yeah, which help you run.
You know. You're still getting that knee workout. Which event is this? It's the 200-meter dash.
Daggone meters? I live in America.
Listen, even in America they do 100 meters.
I was in track, I don't even remember that.
I wasn't in track either. But
I was in track. My point is I was in track and I don't remember that.
Yeah, they always do it in meters. Hey, you know, if you go to the Olympics, you want to know how much you're running, so they keep it in meters.
Yeah, man. I was in almost third to last, which I always did in last. Every single event I was in last place. But it was like that long one, probably 400 or whatever. And I was the third to last. And I was like, I will make it. I will follow through. And then I almost passed out and then started wandering off the track. And when I came to, I was in last again. And so none of my track memories are good ones.
Oh my gosh, that's great. You just imagine somebody just running off the track while they're running. It's like, hey guys, I gotta go some nachos. Oh man. Let's see here. She'll do this one, the 100-meter and the relay. I see. Once again, the pistol sounds, and once again, Emmy flies off the block. The thumping sound draws my attention away from the race. It's Rin's foot. She seems completely absorbed in the race. Emmy's mother cheers again, and I assume that the race is over.
Is he just not watching it?
Wait, what?
Is he just not watching it?
Who?
He just said he assumes the race is over. I think that's kind of the thing you'd see.
No, assuming by the way she's cheering. Like, she cheered last time she won, so assumingly she's cheering this time.
Yes, but if the race is over, like, how do you assume that you're watching it?
Like, sprints happen so fast, I don't think you'd be able to cheer any other time but the end and the beginning.
My point is, he says, watch, and I assume that the race is over. Why would you have to assume anything if you're watching it?
Oh, again, he noticed Rin's foot, and he was paying attention to that.
See,
Sprints don't seem to me like they take very long to complete. Your foot. Your foot was bouncing on the bleachers. Oh. You seem pretty into this stuff. I'm surprised. I thought you said this wouldn't be exciting.
Guess her foot's the only thing that bounces around here.
I suppose you're right. It's not that interesting. But I'm watching Emmy, not the sport. I don't follow.
What a good friend he is.
Emmy's the most Emmy when she runs. You don't get to see Emmy as her at her Emmyest very often. But here you can. See? She directs my attention toward the track again when 100-meter dash is about to start. I watch Emmy closely. As she gets onto the starter's block, her whole body seems relaxed, but it's a false relaxation. I can see that she's actually like a coiled spring.
Well, it's because of the metal that's actually springy.
You know. As the starter tells everyone to get set, her head snaps up and her eyes narrow slightly. Her mouth curls upward in what could be a grin and what could be a growl. When the pistol goes off, it's as if she's unleashed from the cage, like she was always moving at this blinding speed, but we couldn't see it happening until the Star's pistol dispelled the illusion of motionlessness.
So here's a question. What would happen if Zhao just, like, leapt off the bleachers and then fell onto her with his leg, aka drop kick? It's like, has anyone done that in track? Just watched and suddenly just jumped off the bleachers and kicked the person?
Dude, that would be amazing.
It would. It's like wrestling mixed with track.
That would be like an amazing viral video or something.
I mean, yes.
That's what I imagine that as. Just like a news story somebody put on YouTube. It's like Andy comes up and drops kick them off the track. I couldn't speak there.
I'd probably kill them though.
Yeah, you know.
But it's worth it for entertainment.
You're running the opposite way that they are at full speed. You just kick them. Oh gosh. Whew.
Okay.
That would be amazing. As soon as she crossed the finish line, the fierce look was replaced by her normal grin. The conquering general returning to his farm.
That makes no sense.
You know, when farmers go off to war because drafting.
And then they become generals?
Yeah, and then they go back and they're still on a farm.
No.
Hey, you know, amazing. She's really amazing. I've never seen someone move that fast.
I believe it's Sugoi.
Sugoi?
It means amazing in Japanese.
Ah. Well, don't look at me. I'm far too relaxed to run that fast. No, I think Emi's prowess all came from her father's side.
You bet. Lasts all night long.
At the mention of Emi's father, Mrs. Ibarozaki looks wistful, almost sad.
Oh.
He got her into running, you know. Oh, really? I didn't know that. I'll leave it at that and don't say anything for a little while. I get the feeling this is something personal I shouldn't ask about. A beeping noise suddenly emanates from Mrs. Ibarazaki's pocket. Reaching into it, she pulls out her cell phone and looks at it. Honestly, text messages?
I know that feeling.
What is he, 16?
I don't know that feeling.
Hmm? Do you know that feeling?
All the time.
Oh, nothing. I've got to go meet up with a friend of mine.
Oh!
You know. Well, you tell Emmy I'm very proud of her, and then I'll call her later tonight.
Jeez, what a good mother. Leaving on the track.
Of course.
To go with her manstress.
Her mistress.
What do you call a mistress that's a man?
A master?
Oh, well, no.
See, it doesn't work that way.
It's a manstress.
Whatever. Or a mister, I guess.
A mister. I know. But it doesn't sound her mister. No.
Yeah. I know. While waiting for the relay to start, I peer at Rin. She seems uninterested in her surroundings, myself included. That remark she made before is still stuck in my head. Emmy's the most Emmy when she runs. It does make sense now that I think about it. After seeing her run now, I could believe that Emmy gives her all on the track. Sports are more than a hobby or even a competition to her. They're a defining aspect of her life. What about Rin then? Does she feel the same way about art? Considering the persistence she displayed before the festival, I could easily believe it.
I love the fact, just thinking that he's doing this in his thoughts. He's just
Oh,
like he stutters even in his brain.
Yeah. Did I see Rin at her most Rin when she was painting the mural? The relay is about to begin, but I don't see Emmy anywhere. I thought Emmy ran the relay. She runs anchor. So she won't be running for a while yet. Ah. Did you see it? Huh? Emmy at her Emmyest. Maybe.
So he's you now, I mean.
Yeah. Maybe this time. The race begins, and I cheer Amy's teammates along as they pass the baton. It's the same picture from before. Finally, I see Amy sprinting onto the track to make the final handoff.
Yeah, there's no baton there.
Yeah. Once again, I'm taken aback by how graceful she looks when she runs.
Would have fit right there. One quick little few strokes and it's done.
Yeah. Don't even just detail it, just draw like a stick.
Basically, that's what it is. It's a stick.
Yeah, just draw a line. Just through her hand.
That's all it took, but,
Yep, they just didn't have the effort.
Exactly. Like
Also, I just noticed a creepy smile of the girl behind her.
This one?
Yeah, that
Well,
one.
look how leaning her body is. Of course she's smiling. She defies gravity.
Oh, man.
Oh.
There you go. It really is beautiful. The look of determination and fearlessness on her face only adds to the picture. Emmy or Emmius, I suppose.
Emmy had a shortest little tiny face.
Emmy flies across the finishing line with a great leap, just barely ahead of the next runners, but still in first. Well, let's go down. Gotta crown the victor.
Ground them. They're being electrified.
Oh, you mean ground?
I said ground. What do you think I said?
Oh, ground is in electrics. Okay, I thought you meant ground is in like Punisher or something.
Oh, and I thought you meant ground as in like ground beef.
You mean like a cowboy without legs?
What? Oh, ha!
Yeah. You give the punchline, I give the rest of the joke. You know, because that's how jokes work.
It is. It's called on reverse jokes. Twice as funny for half as long.
See if you can find a laurel branch. That's not going to be easy. Rin shrugs. Not Lin, Rin. At least we tried. Emmy is surrounded by her teammates, all of them congratulating her on the run. Rin seems to be waiting for Emmy to notice that she's arrived. It doesn't seem her style to draw attention to herself, or to emote beyond shrugging. Being more impatient than Rin, I wave to Emmy in her stead. She looks up and grins happily at us. Hey, you showed up. We would have brought you a crown of laurel, but he said I didn't find one. Neither did you. That wasn't my job to look. When did we assign jobs? When I said see if you can find a laurel branch. Try to keep up. I shrug. I guess Rin's rubbing off on me. Seems it's my fault after all, Emmy. Emmy laughs at Rin and me. It's okay. I'm sure you'll make up with me somehow. Sure. Good. So how'd I look? Very impressive. Emmy seems pleased with this assessment. I don't mention how much more impressive her performance is given her lack of legs.
But he sure did think it, huh?
Yeah. Of course he did. He's not used to people not having legs.
I mean, I forget about it immediately, so...
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, she doesn't have legs.
Oh well.
You'd almost forget about it, almost.
Wait, you read this?
Yeah, I read that.
I wasn't sure.
Besides, it seems like it would take away from her efforts somehow. Great to hear. I was worried that I looked a little slow on the relay, but I guess I did fine, huh? Emmy giggles and then seems to remember something. Oh, before I forget. Rin and I are going to do something next Sunday as a post-track meet celebration. You should come along. Normally we do it the day after, but since today is Sunday, I've got homework and class and all that stuff to take care of. Well, sure, I'd love to. Great, it's a promise then. Right, your mom wanted to say she's proud of you.
Oh, your mom.
Alright.
Nah,
She said she'll call you later tonight. I thought I saw her in the stands.
Of course, the stands in the background. Look at those stands.
Yeah.
They look like stands, to be honest. Was there any stand named with static?
These two people just have infinite stands.
Maybe. Like, is there any stand? Is there any like band or song named after like Static?
After what?
Like Static, like TV Static.
Static? I'm pretty sure there is.
You know what it's called? I'm pretty
I
sure.
can't think of one immediately off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure there is. I'm glad she made it. Hey, Emmy, you're going to miss the medal ceremony. Oh, yeah, thanks. She turns to Rand and myself. You don't have to stick around for this part. It takes forever. Besides, you should get cracking on your homework now if you don't want to be up late, Sal. Emmy slips back to her teammates, leaving me and Ren by ourselves. Neither of us has the slightest interest in the post-competition ceremony, so we silently get away and back to the quad. Rin yawns without even trying to restrain herself and shuffles her feet around restlessly. I feel awkward, but less so than if I was with someone else. Still, I'm left hanging, not knowing what I should say next. Amy was great, wasn't she? She was great. I'm very jealous of her. Why? Like I said, don't you think it's great to be able to really be yourself? It sounds weird coming from Rin. I don't think you, of all people, should have trouble finding a way to express yourself. Don't you have your paintings? She turns to look at me. For the first time I see in her eyes a strange, hollow expression that I think must be unique to her.
Doesn't she always look hollow?
I know. No, you see, the problem is that I'm not really sure who I am. She's got the identity crisis.
Probably.
Oh, we're getting a cutscene. Oh.
You wish. You were excited for a second.
I was like, cutscene. Nope.
You were excited.
The most abrupt ending to the day.
It's true. He just falls asleep right on the spot.
Yeah. No, Rin just falls asleep. Because she said she was yawning, and she just falls over there.
Why is her end of the day the end of the complete day? Wouldn't it be his end?
You know.
Yes.
They don't even explain that they just walked off. It's just, that's the conversation.
Yep, that's the whole day.
And then 24 hours pass, and it's the next day.
Debatably.
Today's art club meeting is currently on hold while everyone waits for Nomiya to show up. I take this time to try and explain my theory about Yamaku to Rin. Yamaku, who's that again?
The school?
Oh, yeah. I was like... I forgot about that. It was... My throat. I've tried to figure out what exactly about the school feels so special to me. That concept I unsuccessfully tried to explain to Yuko the other day. It's still difficult, but the track meet and the time I spent observing my fellow students has helped my ideas mature a little. Have you noticed that people talk all the time? I can't really explain it, but once again, as I try to explain my observation, I'm struggling for words. The student body is heavily cliqued, and I'm only now beginning to make sense of the intricate grouping and popularity networks, and yet the feeling of being a part of the group is stronger here than I remember it being in my old schools. I'm trying to say that this school isn't like other schools, or at least the students are, even after discounting the obvious. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what you mean. Oh, well, whatever then. I want to pursue the issue, but at that point, Nomiya arrives. The teacher is wiping sweat from his forehead with a handkerchief and breathing rather heavily. He quickly glances over the room, then settles down a bit. Hello. Apologies for being late.
Wait, where'd it go? Don't you hate when your mouse just disappears? Who does that?
It just blends into the background.
I think it just flat out disappeared.
You know. Is everyone present? Good. I must confess, I haven't really planned anything for today as I have been extremely busy lately, but I'm sure we can come up with something entertaining. Anyone have any suggestions? I was thinking we could have a discussion circle since we haven't had one in a while. I at least found the last one magnificently enjoyable. There are some rumors here and there, but nobody raises their voice in support of or against Nomiya. We could delve into various movements of art, or does someone have a good topic in mind? Come on, throw it out there. It doesn't matter if it's silly or odd. We can always cook up something interesting. Nobody seems to be brave enough to make such a suggestion. As the awkward silence refuses to be broken, I lift my hand in the air. Oh, our newest friend seems to have something on his mind. Speak up, my boy, speak up. Well, I don't know about anyone else, but I've always wondered why art exists in the first place. My voice trails off. A silence sets in the room, and Noah makes a follow-up on my meek suggestion. Then the teacher bursts in laughter. Ho, excellent.
Panda!
I said excellent, so...
I didn't hear you. I heard...
Yeah. Very good indeed. Right out the gate with the big one, huh? Fabulous. Like that tie.
I wouldn't call it fabulous.
It's pretty fabulous. It's got yellow and pink.
That's not pink.
I didn't read that, by the way.
Whatever. That could have been what the text said, you don't know.
Chuckling, he shifts some papers around on his desk for a few moments. When he's done, he appears to have made some sort of decision. Very well then. Let us run with this and see where it gets us, shall we? Oh my, even an old fogey like me gets excited with such delicious enthusiasm as present. Oh my,
Jeez.
indeed.
Delicious.
I thought his tongue was sticking out for a second.
You just saw the tongue. That's it.
No, go back up.
It is.
Oh, it is.
Maybe that's why he said delicious, I guess.
Oh,
Jeez.
Lord. Let me gather my thoughts a moment so I can figure out a good starting point for everyone. For some reason, the teacher seems to be almost literally bursting with excitement. He scribbles a few things down on a loose sheet of paper and then cleans his glasses with a handkerchief. He strikes a pose, then freezes for an overtly dramatic, artistic pause that spans what must be half a minute.
Shoujo!
It's so quiet I could hear a pin drop. First, let's come up with a few questions that we want answered, such as, what is art, and why does art exist? Anyone have any questions that might be related? The boy with sunglasses pipes up almost immediately. His voice is soft and quiet, and I have a hard time making out what he says. What defines an artist? After him, another question comes up. If I fill a cardboard box with water and call it art, is it art?
Sounds like art.
It is. Everyone laughs at that, even the teacher. Great, wonderful, all of these. Let me start by saying that this is not a clear-cut issue by any means, and as such, I'm not going to give any answers to you. I'm only going to speak from my own perspective. Scholars have argued about these sorts of questions since time immemorial, and there has never really been a broadly applicable consensus reached. There are, however, some qualities that most tend to generally agree upon. Hopefully you should all find these acceptable as well. In short, art defines itself. It simply cannot be contained to a definition from the outside, since the boundaries of art expand and contract from forces within. Every day, someone somewhere comes up with something completely outrageous that challenges any and all preconceptions. The core reason for this is that rather than the rational side of the mind, art appears to be the intuition, the instinct, the primal. You would find it very hard to explain why exactly it is that you enjoy some particular style of piece, no? He doesn't wait for a response before continuing. This is exactly why. So art is a sort of wild, uncontrollable thing that lurks somewhere deep in our subconscious. Now, why does it exist? Nomiya apparently expects someone to pipe up with a guess, but as nobody dares to interrupt his inspired speech, he continues. It was a trick question. You see, art almost validates itself. Almost. Generally speaking, you might say that art exists for no other purpose than itself. It's something that exists merely to leave a mark in history. It's the defiance of a mortal against the face of darkness, as one once said.
Darkness isn't existence.
It is.
We've been over this.
Jigga, I won that argument.
You didn't win that argument. I went to bed.
I won that argument, though.
PIM isn't winning an argument. It's me going to bed.
No, remember you said if you cut a hole in paper, does the hole exist? And I said yes, and you agreed with me.
No, I said the hole. The hole. It's what's in between the hole. The existence of the hole is like, it's just a name for a non-existence. The emptiness that is.
The hole still exists.
Because non-existence can't exist. That's the whole point of non-existence.
Here's the thing. If the hole didn't exist, then there would be nothing there. There would just be paper. The hole wouldn't have existed in the first place.
What are you talking about?
Oh my gosh.
Darkness doesn't exist. It's just the absence of light. Absence.
Exactly, but you make it happen. Something you make happen has to exist.
You don't make it. No, that's not true at all. You make light. You make light happen, but because light's not there doesn't mean we made it happen. It just means it's not there.
It is. If I put my hand in front of a light, I make a shadow happen.
You don't make the shadow. The shadow just happens because the light's no longer there. You're making the light not happen.
Oh, Lord. You know what? I'm just going to move on. It's going to go on forever because you won't agree and I won't agree.
Works for me. Post in the comments below.
Let's agree to disagree.
Let's post in the comments below.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I'll put that whole Skype conversation in a paste bin and let people decide for themselves.
On what? Reddit or on Twitter? Because no one's
put it on a paste bin and then we put it in the YouTube link.
And then we put it in Twitter, Reddit, because people won't talk about it on Twitter.
You know.
Whatever. Continue.
Listen, people, it'll be in the description.
Or in
Make
Reddit.
sure Chigga puts it in the description.
This is what part 8. Good luck remembering.
I will remember.
Sure. I'm pretty sure this is part 9, actually.
I didn't say what part number it was, anyways.
Now I have to remember what part number we are at. Oh no.
All right.
Yeah, go continue, please.
Art is truly the proof of our existence. You should all know that human culture and civilization are tightly tied to the existence of art. Then what about artists? What drives a man to dedicate his life to a thing so fickle and mysterious that it even defies definition? There are as many answers for this as there are artists, but if I had to put it into words, an artist doesn't make art because he can, but because he must. Nomiya takes a pause and his gaze sweeps over his audience, eyes flaring with passion. It is obvious that art touches the very soul of each and every human being in one way or another. So if you were given a chance to connect with your fellow man in such a fundamental way, how could you not? There is a poem I'm very much fond of, and I shall recite the most well-known part of it to you now. I feel that for me personally, of all possible things, it captures best the essence of what it means to be an artist. Nomiya leans against the desk as he clears his throat in preparation. Looking at some distant place, he utters the words in the heavy afternoon air with his soft basso voice. To see a world in a grain of sand, and heaven in a wildflower. Hold infinity in the palm of your hand, and eternity in an hour. There is a solemn and unbelievably awkward silence after he finishes reciting the short fragment. Nobody dares speak a word. Nomiya clears his throat again. To be an artist is to see the world in a grain of sand. You see, dear children, without art there would not be much to live for in this world. It is the most profound thing. He's clearly touched by this notion. I almost expect to see a lone tear rolling down his rough cheek, but it never comes.
It's because it's hidden by those pink glasses.
Exactly. I turned to Rin and whispered to her. So how is this discussion circle? She shrugs nonchalantly back at me.
Right, no, you just didn't read it. I was waiting, and as soon as you stopped, I just was...
It's just now loaded for me. The previous ones were the same. To his credit, Nomiya does try to get some debate going, but the club seems to be reluctant to comply. I feel a bit guilty about opening my mouth. Maybe we wouldn't be spared from this. As the meeting comes to a close, I realize we haven't once touched any paint or pens today, and I feel somewhat disappointed.
You should feel happy as ugliness doesn't get to be shown on paper. But that means he doesn't get to disappoint himself and his...
Yeah, he doesn't get to disappoint Rin and make her feel sorry for him.
Rin can't feel sorry for anything.
Well, she feels something towards him, otherwise she wouldn't have responded.
She doesn't feel. Look at those eyes.
You don't respond with that emotion.
That's not true. Look at you, Dale.
Unless you're a computer.
Look, she's a computer.
But I'm compelled to respond. She has to be compelled.
She's a computer. Look at those computer eyes. They just forgot to program in arms. They forgot to build their arms.
They forgot to program arms.
Whatever, man.
That'd be a great reason for a character being armless in a story. It's just like, hey man, why don't you have arms? Oh, the guys forgot to program them.
What, like, that'd be only video games would that work in?
That would be an amazing video game, though.
Probably. Very self-conscious.
It's just like some weird glitch land. It's like, oh yeah, they forgot to program my arms.
I can see that happening. By self-conscious, I meant self-aware.
Yep. Nomiya suddenly appears next to us. He seems to be still fired up from the speech he delivered. His cologne smells musky and saccharine at the same time, giving me an instant headache, even though I'm not sensitive to perfumes. He's looking at Rin like a hungry wolf.
Ooh, he wants some.
Tezuka, do you remember Miss... Let's see here. Let's see if I can read this right. Sayanoji, who visited us at the festival?
Well, I can obviously tell you it's not Sayanoji.
Sayanoji? Sayonji. There we go.
There you go. Sayanoji.
Listen, I got the N and the O mixed up. It was really close, so I think so. I'm going to tell you something amazing.
She's dead now.
That would be great. The thing is, she's a very well-known gallerist around here. It turns out that I might be able to get her to consider having your work put on display. He ends his sentence with a dramatic gesture. It seems he's expecting Rin to show some sort of joyous, shocked reaction at such grand news, but she just stares at him blankly. Magnificent, isn't it? It's going to be a real chance for us to get ahead, girl. But... Now, I know what you're about to say. Yes, it wouldn't be a simple affair, but I think this is an absolutely fantastic opportunity. Frankly, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we even made it big. This could be the first step, and then, when the word is out, we strike while the iron's hot. Right, Nakai? Yeah, it does sound pretty great if you're into that kind of thing.
I mean, if you're into money, you know how much artists make? They make money.
Yeah, you know, when they actually do stuff. Actually, most artists make money after they're dead.
Well, they don't make the money after they're dead.
You know. Somebody else makes the money off of them.
Yeah, like leeches. Vulture leeches.
Like, he's going to send them the art, then he's going to kill Ren, and then he's going to take in all the money.
That sounds pretty good. I'm down with this plan.
See, we should definitely not let this one pass, am I right? I don't really... Ren seems to be trouble for some reason. I can't figure out why.
Oh no!
Does indeed sound like a possibly great thing. What'd you do?
That came up on the video.
What came up?
Skype.
Ah. Well, I can't see it on my side. So.
Yeah, that's something at least.
She looks pretty down though and confused. I've never seen her like this. So, what do you think? Ren looks up to her teacher's glowing face, then back down at her desk. I'll think about it. Nomiya is at last taken slightly aback by Ren's lack of superlative delight. Then he smiles widely at her and gently pats her head. Good girl. It's like a dog.
She is, to be honest. I got better conversations than my dog.
The club meeting is finally over, and as I lazily collect my things and help clean up, I start feeling exhausted for some reason. There isn't much to do, however, so it's over quickly. I catch up to Rin, who left the club room just a moment earlier, so we're walking down the stairs to the ground floor while I try to go over Nomiya's passionate speech about art, and Rin seems to be lost in thought. Not an unusual state for her, I've learned, but something about her expression makes me feel uneasy. Penny for your thoughts? That'd be too cheap. You're just overpricing your thoughts. I wouldn't be able to sell them anyway. I'm not sure what I'm thinking yet. It'd be fraud too, like stealing a candy from a baby. That's theft, not fraud.
Only one candy? Only a candy?
Yeah, only one candy.
Just singular candy?
Yep. I have to think about what I think. Is this about what the teacher said? Getting your work put on display and all that? She doesn't answer but stops in tracks as we reach the lobby. We're the only people around, so it's very quiet. Footsteps echo from a few floors up as someone hurries along a hallway. I think I'm going to go somewhere elsewhere. I think she really is troubled. Want company? I can't promise much help with the thinking, but it's not like I have much else to do, and I'm supposed to do some light exercise. If you like.
Hey, new picture. That's new.
Oh yeah, it is. Rin leads me outside to a wall beyond the dormitories. There's a small back gate there, made from the same wrought iron as the main gate is. It leads to the shadowy woodland park before the hiding school. I thought getting really excited would make me speak better about
No, it made you do it worse.
The gate is rusty as it hasn't seen much use. However, it sits open, so we pass through. It's not forbidden for students to leave the grounds, but somehow I feel a little uneasy.
Ooh, gonna do it in the woods. That's how you get crabs or something.
I'm glad you know this.
I don't know. I don't know the first thing about that.
Apparently you do. A path leads deeper into the forest. Tall Zelkova and maple trees rustle in the wind, their canopies creating patches of chill air hanging in the places where the shadows fall. The forest smells strongly of earth. I almost feel cold, even though the midsummer day is as hot as ever. Rin trudges ahead like a sleepwalker, sure-footed but with no apparent destination in mind. Her thoughts seem to be somewhere else. I follow a few steps behind, making more care to watch where my feet land. The path follows the land uphill at a low angle, sometimes making little detours downhill before climbing back upward. The muted brown and gray trunks line the path on both sides, peppered with ferns and other undergrowth. After a little while, I start getting worried. The path is still wide and clear, so there's no chance of getting lost, but it doesn't look like we have any particular destination.
I've gotten lost on a path that was clear.
You know, if you just walk in one direction, you'll eventually find the end of it.
Nope, because then it turns night and you end up walking in a circle multiple times and the police have to get you on your birthday, so you miss out on cake.
Here's the thing, don't turn. If you just keep walking straight, you won't go in a circle.
Well, here's the thing. You can't keep walking straight when there's a lake blocking your way. And the funny thing is you have to walk over the lake anyways because the police.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with a bit of aimless wandering around, but I don't want to get so far that I get too tired to walk back. I'm starting to get a little winded and my legs feel heavy. I want to stop and get a chance to catch my breath and rest my legs, but Rin keeps on going.
Stop there.
Where are we going? Or are we going anywhere at all? Worry tree. I see.
It's got like 9 pentagrams on it, and like red horns just like growing out of it.
So what exactly is the worry tree? It's just a tree like this.
Feed me your worries.
She stops above a particularly large maple that might or might not be the worry tree. Its lush green leaves swayed lightly in the breeze, blowing through the small clearing we entered. I guessed as much. There are people who believe that you must come here to wallow in misery if you are miserable. Only by people, I mean me, and the tree isn't really called anything. So, if you're miserable, you talk to a tree about it?
Yeah.
No. What? I can't talk to trees. What do you think I am, crazy? No, I didn't mean it like that. Or maybe you talk to trees. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that you're crazy. Even though you probably are if you talk to trees. I wouldn't recommend it in either case. People would think you are a weird person. No, I just forget it. She looks mildly confused, which I don't blame her at all. She tilts her head a little to the side, expression melting back into your usual one. Alright, I'm good at forgetting things. So why are we here? Are you miserable then? I can't read the expression she makes. I hate how bad I am at interpreting Ren's mood. She doesn't answer right away, as if she herself isn't quite certain of her own mood. The blank stare changes into a more difficult expression as she shuffles her weight around. Finally coming to a conclusion, Ren shrugs her shoulders. I've grown to seriously dislike that gesture. It doesn't mean anything. Maybe. I just feel kind of like I'm sinking underwater. I don't know what I should do.
Can't swim without legs. I mean, arms.
I don't know where I should go. That's all. Maybe it's not a big deal, but I thought walking might help. Kind of like if I go somewhere, I would know where I should go. I don't really know if it did. It really would have made sense if walking had helped to decide where to go. So you don't want to try to get an exhibition, or rather you don't know if you do, can't decide? Red doesn't say anything for a while, arranging her thoughts in silence. The quiet is broken by birdsong from somewhere in the treetops, followed by rustling leaves as the bird takes flight. Maybe. I'm not sure if I can have a thing like that. So far I've only painted for myself. I don't think I could have my things on display the way I am now. It's me couldn't do it. Her throat sounds like a weak... Decent.
Her throat?
Yeah. I was saying my throat afterwards. Her reason sounds like a weak excuse. I made my trademark frown, but she doesn't notice it. I don't get it. The teacher certainly thinks you could. I don't think he suggests otherwise. Sounds like he's calling in favors from his friends, too. I know. He's really done a lot for me, but this might be too much. Becoming someone who can do it might be pretty hard. Maybe I can do it at all. He can't do it for me, and if I let him try, I'd just sink deeper and deeper.
Oh, he can, or we can do it, alright.
You can do it if you want to.
Yeah, I was hoping. I was really hoping. Follow through.
Oh, man. Ren stands in front of the large maple tree and turns away from me. I want to close the few feet of distance between us, and I don't know. My irritation's suddenly gone, and I start feeling sympathetic for her. I know exactly how you feel. Well, maybe I don't, but still. I think I haven't felt like I was actually in control of my own life this whole year. I'm just helplessly going along with the flow. Like coming here to the school. I didn't really choose it myself, and I certainly didn't choose this time of my life to learn that I have this condition. I still can't casually say the word aloud. It's like, yeah, it's exactly like being underwater. Like I can't even breathe. Then turns her face to me again, a sad expression on her face. Is that why you look so sad all the time? I don't want to look sad like you. Do I look to you like you look to me?
Jeez.
I don't look sad all the time. I just don't know what I should be feeling, what kind of face I should be making. Me neither. Do I look sad now?
You're cruising for a bruising, that's for sure.
Not really. You look like you always do, I think. But I'm sinking. I should try to float, up like a rubber duck. Quack, quack, all yellow and creepy. I have to think for a few seconds about which direction I should pursue in this conversation, then I realize that it doesn't matter. You think rubber ducks are creepy? You don't? I think they look very creepy. Everything that has eyes but isn't alive is very disturbing, like rubber ducks and reflections in mirrors. She plops down on the forest bed, leaning on the maple she named the worry tree. After wondering what to do for a minute, I sit down to 3 feet apart from her.
That branch just falls on top of him.
The forest envelops us in his embrace, and its stillness falls on the two of us. You may have been right about that.
I wish.
We sit there without speaking for a long while. I can literally feel the time passing. Patches of sunlight litter the small clearing in a pattern that echoes the maple canopies. One of them falls directly on me, warming me all the way to the bone. I wonder what I could do for myself, and maybe for Rin. For now, I just keep watching her from this distance. Somehow she cranes her neck all the way back, so much that it looks almost painful, and stares up at the small patch of sky visible past the canopy of the worry tree. Sometimes she just stares blankly ahead, as if seeing something just beyond her reach. She keeps whispering to herself, but so quietly that I can't hear her, even though I'm sitting right next to her. I only see her lips moving, like she was in the middle of a distant dream. I realize that right now I no longer feel any of the intense loneliness I feel at night, just before falling asleep.
Ooh, he's lonely at night.
I may be more like Rin than I thought. I can either give up and stay submerged under the weight of all the crap in my life, or try to change myself for the better.
I don't know, drowning sounds like fun in this situation.
What?
Drowning sounds like fun in this situation.
It doesn't sound like it.
Okay.
For sure, no drowning is fun.
Well, you even tried it.
I haven't, but I don't think it'd be fun.
I almost drowned once. It wasn't terrible.
Was it fun?
I can't say that, but it wasn't terrible.
I was about to say, that's a very interesting interest. Her decision is different, yet the same. And unlike her, I know for sure that I can't stay like this forever. I have to change. Interesting. I wonder which one will take me to the right one. Crap, that's actually a tough decision.
I won't.
Here's the thing, I don't know if Rin likes herself or Emmy more.
That's what I'm thinking too. I don't know.
Ah, crap. 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 Crap.
Good door.
There we go. My computer's about to die. I about forgot about that.
Plug it in.
Plug it in, plug it in.
I was gonna do that, but I couldn't remember where I was from, so I decided not to. In case it was like a tampon
I think it's a Febreze commercial.
That's not a tampon commercial. We never did go through with our idea of scratch and sniff tampons.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that.
That's a great marketing ploy.
Yeah, what was the marketing for it again?
Scratch and sniff it. I don't know. I don't think we had marketing for it. It was just, it exists, and therefore we want to buy it.
Crap.
Well, think of it like this. You want to be like a shrimp with no legs, or Rin?
A shrimp with no arms or a shrimp with no legs?
No, it's not. You see, Rin's not a shrimp, though. You need to be a shrimp with no legs.
Or
Rin. Exactly.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. Crap.
Turning into a snake isn't going to help your situation.
You know what? I'm going to go with the Rin.
Good.
Probably going to be the wrong one, but I'm going to go for it anyways, because I really want to see what happens if I say
And then Kenji just walks into the forest, hey man, let's climb this tree and get drunk.
Oh, man. Rick could probably do it. Even though she seems to doubt herself, I have no doubts about her strength. She could do it, even if she can't. It makes me feel a little better too, and I lean back against the tree, breathing out deeply as if for the first time in a long time. We stay that way in the small clearing until the angle of sun changes and the chilly shadow deepens.
Well, Odyssey's getting in here.
Yep, I see that.
How do you know?
I saw it in the the screen.
Oh.
That one was in the screen read. Hey!
So he chose Bryn instead of Emmy. Does that mean he wins?
What?
He's in the forest, and he had to choose Rin or Emmy.
I had to choose if I wanted to be more like Rin or more like Emmy.
I mean, you went for Rin, so I assume you'd want to be more like Rin, because you are
Yeah,
Rin.
that's the thing. I don't know if Rin likes herself or Emmy better.
I mean, you know, Emmy's kind of like her closest friend, but at the same time, you know, like, I'm close friends with Chiga. I wouldn't want to be like Chiga.
I mean, wouldn't you? Look at me. Do I look like I'm worried? No.
I mean, okay, maybe a little bit like Chiga, but, you know, it's you know, just answer with the heart. And
I already
thoughts.
answered. I already answered. I want to be more like Rin on this, so hopefully that's the right one. We stay that way in the small clearing until the angle of the sun changes and the chilly shadows deepen. No longer warm where we sit, we leave the forest, returning along the same path we took coming in. It doesn't seem like Rin has come to us to decision. I wonder if it was a bad idea for me to come along. It's alright. I don't mind. I'm sure the trees and dirt and rocks won't mind either. Did you mind? No, not at all. I think it helped me too.
Didn't help his heart.
I don't think anything could help his heart.
Well, a pacemaker would.
Yeah. But you know, apparently they don't have that in this universe.
You mean Japan?
Yeah. Apparently they don't have those in the Japan universe.
The Japanese universe?
Japan based off Rhode Island. It's like the whole campus is based off an actual university, Brown University in Rhode Island, and it looks exactly the same.
You know, that would explain. There's something that was bothering me a little bit ago that I didn't bring up. Around the track, there was just grass, and I was like, if this is really like an Academy of Japan, I don't think they would leave it that unkempt. Now that you say it's in Rhode Island, I could absolutely believe them doing that.
Exactly.
Why does this exist in Rhode Island? Is it majority girls too?
No.
Do I need to break my arm and move to Rhode Island?
I think just the artists, for their background, just went to school there and didn't want to make original college.
You know.
Alright.
So these are pictures and not drawings. We've settled that.
The
Yeah.
pictures, and then they like trying to turn them into drawings a little bit.
Ah.
I mean, enough.
Yeah.
That's why I said happened.
While we walk back towards the dormitories, the sky is changing to a deep ultramarine. The first summer stars twinkle softly from between spots in the canopy, barely visible like tiny fireflies.
Ultramarine is like the best. It's like Turbo Negro. It's just the best.
Does Aussie know about that, by the way?
I know, but I told Dev about it today.
Oh.
Turbo Negro is a band.
Yeah, we found a band named Turbo Negro.
Oh.
It was great.
Are they any good?
We haven't listened to them yet.
Wow.
Chiga, we should listen to them sometime. Just see what they're like.
I mean, I already know what they're like. They're the best.
I want to hear you listening to them for the first time.
That's interesting, but okay.
Like, I just want to hear your reaction, because I've never listened to them either.
Alright.
That could be a Group Gamers video. We just all listen to Turbo Negro.
That sounds like the weirdest video I've ever heard.
You know.
Let's react to music? No.
Yeah. I become very self-conscious about Rin's presence.
She thinks you're fat. Just out.
I haven't thought much about Iwanaka.
I think I just snorted, jeez.
Yeah, a little bit. Moving on. I haven't thought about much. This is kind of the same situation as then, but to be honest, I don't think it really counts for much. Not with Rin.
This whole game's like a tongue twister for you.
It is. And yet, it feels good walking next to her, even if it isn't anything more than this. At first, I think Rin agitated me quite a bit with her unpredictable behavior, but recently I feel like I haven't had to be on my toes so much. I've managed to let myself go a little. It makes me feel satisfied, even though ultimately I think it's more thanks to Rin than myself. She seems to be disinterested in a huge number of things, but something in her makes me try harder than I normally would.
Well, it's just being around girls.
That too. It's not that I want to impress her. I think that truly impressing Rin would take near superhuman effort just because of how she is. Instead, it's because there is this relentless feeling inside of me that I shouldn't let Rin down. It's really weird. I wonder why I started thinking like that. I don't even know what sort of expectation she has about pretty much anything. So how could I let her down? Rin has this unassuming air around her, and she doesn't really talk about stuff very often. Even today's confession of her self-doubt caught me a little off guard. I feel like I want to talk more with her. The realization suddenly dawned on me that Rin is basically the only person I talk to nowadays, apart from whatever I have to endure from She's Named Mishra Kenji. I feel slightly depressed.
Girls are weird. And guys who hang around girls become weird.
Yeah.
Apparently so. In front of the dormitories, as if summoned by my dark thoughts, we run into Kenji himself.
Hey, I told you!
Oh, I swear to God, it better not happen. I'm gonna hate myself if it happens.
I'm gonna love yourself if it does.
It feels very odd seeing him outside, breathing fresh outdoor air. At least it's already dusk. I partially expect Kenji would disintegrate upon direct exposure to the sun. Kenji himself seems very insecure as well, standing around looking like he's waiting for something, but doesn't know himself what it might be. Hey Kenji, what are you doing? Hello. Who are you? It's me, Hisao. I'm not sure if you know Tezuka from Class 3-4. From his face, I can see that not only he doesn't know Rin, he also can't see her from this short distance. Oh, what's up, dudes? Kenji sticks his hand enthusiastically forward, almost straight into Rin's stomach.
That would have been the best ending to this game. I need to just edit this game to where that happens.
just Kenji is the hole puncher.
Like everything is like the same except if you go the Rin route, when you get to the specific scene, his hand just jolts into her stomach.
Kenji did the hole puncher.
And he looks like he would be. That's like Hewitt Packard. I don't know who it is.
Yeah, he just needs to take off the scarf and the sunglasses, or the glasses, and spike his hair up.
The sunglasses.
Boom.
That would have been the best. I need this.
Rin looks at his outstretched hand in confusion until Kenji clears his throat and retracts the hand. There's something almost cool that he manages to do with social awkwardness. It's not like I'm the most suave man on the planet, but I don't think I'll ever be able to even approach Kenji's level. I think I respect Kenji a little bit more. So are you waiting for someone? He leans closer and lowers his voice to an agitated whisper. I see his facial muscles twitching. Come on, man, you know I can't talk about stuff here in public. They might be listening. I'm going to have to go pick up some stuff from somewhere, and I don't want the snooping student cancel hags to get on my case. Also, I don't trust your friend. Nothing personal. Are you sure he's trustworthy? I briefly considered telling Kenji about Rin's gender, but as it might end badly for one or both of them, I decided against it. Yeah, I'm sure. He turns from me to Rin, and I immediately get the feeling that I have to prevent them from talking to each other with whatever means necessary. However, there is little I can do now apart from... I can't read that because the Skype thing's over.
Physical violence.
Yeah,
which means beat up Rin.
I knew it was physical as something.
Beat up Rin. She wouldn't care. Look at that face.
In that case, would you be interested in knowing about the worst threat to mankind since they invented vegetarianism?
He's right. Vegetarians, I know a few.
He sounds like a vacuum cleaner salesman. Oh, that's great. Oh, man.
Oh my goodness.
That was a great line, dude.
I guess. And you're saying dude now? You are Kenji.
I always say dude, man.
I know. Now you're saying man, now you're...
I always say man, dude.
Man.
I say both of them. Listen, I always say dude, man. I always say man, dude.
Man, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, man,
No,
they're
man,
both
man.
superheroes.
They're partners in crime.
Well,
Or I guess not crime. They're partners in stopping crime.
Yes.
Anyways. I thought it was Sunday. I see you're not in the know. Yeah, man, I'm talking about man-eating cows here. Very few people know what I know, so I'm not surprised. We can't talk here, but if you'd like a pamphlet, come to my room after curfew on Mondays or Wednesdays. He suddenly reaches to his pocket and draws out a ballpoint pen and what looks like a convenient store receipt. Kenji furiously scribbles on the paper and then thrusts it toward Rin. Here's the password. Memorize and then eradicate any traces of the document. Eat it, burn it, dissolve it in acid, whatever.
What if you eat it, burn it, then dissolve it with stomach acid? What if you burn it, eat it?
You burn it with your throat.
Yeah.
I take the receipt from Kenji as Rin is unable to do so and glance at it. It's indeed a receipt, apparently for 2 rice balls and 5 boxes of matches. I hope he's not planning to burn anything down. On the other side is written just one word. Honey muffin.
Sounds pretty good.
That's a great password.
I need a honey muffin.
I show it to Rin too, but she shows no reaction.
And I mean the food.
Or rice balls and matches.
No, honey muffin.
Thank you. Yo, Hisao, you still in that club? The Club of Dark Arts? Fine art. Anyway, yeah, I actually just had a meeting today. So look at your wits about you. No shady mind tricks going on. Nothing personal, man, but I have to be on top of things. Kate cut off pants down. Speaking of which, you should really take showers a bit later. Gotta respect that personal space. Nothing personal. Kenji looks around as if he heard something and then straightens his jacket. Okay, I gotta scoot now before it gets late. Later, dudes. Good luck. Kenji takes off rapidly towards the main gate and looks after him, frowning. We watch after Kenji's diminishing figure in silence. What's wrong with him? Technically speaking, I think he's legally blind. Oh, I see.
Did
But he doesn't.
Hey, that looks like a...
Oh, snap!
Well, he can't joke.
What?
Okay, then.
Well, he can't see either.
Hey. Good one, Nolan, dude. Good man.
I like how the envelope says sunflower on it, just in case you didn't know.
I mean, it could just be the sun. You don't know.
Yeah, the sun looks a lot like a flower.
Yeah.
It's a sunflower.
Hey.
It's a sunflower. It's a sunflower sun.
It sounds terrible.
I can immediately tell from the envelope that it's not about official matters of any sort. Somebody actually wrote me an old-fashioned handwritten paper letter.
You do that all the time.
Who bothers doing something like that in this day and age anyway? Yeah, as unlikely as the prospect of receiving one sounds, there is definitely a letter lying on my desk. If anything, it's Kenji. The classes for the day are over. Still feeling pretty full from the big lunch that I had unexpectedly eaten at the cafeteria. I returned to my dorm planning to finish my homework and probably skipping something, at least not eating light.
Dinner. Because darkness doesn't exist.
Yeah. I feel like I need to eat less than I used to. Maybe I don't use that much energy, now that I don't do much behind reading. Beyond. However, the letter on my desk is naturally coming interest. I will be right back.
Alright, so while we're waiting, Odyssey.
Yeah.
Does darkness exist?
Yes?
No, it's just an absence of light. It's just a word to describe the nothingness that is without light. Darkness itself. Darkness itself does not exist.
The absence of something is still something.
No, because it's the nothing. It's just...
It's a concept. Concepts are something.
Is it even a concept?
Yes, it is. The fact that we're able to discuss it makes it a concept.
You're just like Dale. You don't get it, man.
No, I get it, okay? It's like the color black isn't a color. It's the absence of colors. It's absent of light waves making a color. But no, it's still a color.
It is still a color. But it's not darkness.
Okay.
Because it's like a hole. Do holes exist? No. There's a lacking of existence in a certain area.
Does absolute zero exist?
Yes!
No, it's just the lacking of temperature.
There you go, it doesn't exist then. It's just a term we use.
Logic.
It's a term we use to describe a non-existence. Therefore,
Which
it doesn't
makes
exist.
It a thing.
The term exists. The term exists, but the actual thing that the term is describing does not exist.
The lack of something is still something.
I'm not sure about that.
The cup is empty. That doesn't mean it's non-existence. That just means there's nothing in it.
The cup exists, but nothing exists in the cup except presumably air, unless it's like in a vacuum.
Okay. So nothing exists within it, but the concept of it being empty is this. That's a real thing.
Well, emptiness doesn't exist. It just is a lack of ness. If something's empty,
then nothing exists in it.
Therefore,
it can't. The fact that it's empty, that description of it exists.
Yeah, the description exists, but the thing itself does not.
What it's describing does not exist. Because it's describing emptiness. It's describing a lack of things.
Exactly like darkness. It's describing a lack of light. Therefore, darkness itself does not exist.
It does exist. A lack of something is still something.
I'm not gonna lie, I've sat here for the past minute listening to this. I'm glad Ossie's on my side.
Whatever. I'll get someone else. There you go.
No, he's taking the exact same point I am. The lack of something is still something.
He didn't say that, did he?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I need someone else now.
I said the lack of existence is still existence.
Who's with me? Someone? I'll find someone.
Probably not.
I'll find someone.
No, you won't.
Moving on. However, the letter on my desk has naturally caught my interest. It's the first piece of mail I've received here at Yamaku, so it feels special even if it wasn't something as rare as a handwritten letter. Excuse me. Excuse me again. What causes me even more trepidation is the name of the sender written neatly on the back of the envelope.
Obviously, use your weeaboo powers to read the things. Never
I
mind.
have to go over. I can't read Japanese, or I don't know Japanese. I'm a different kind of weeaboo than that.
You're a first level weeaboo, haven't even made it to wizard level.
As it says Iwanako, which is what's Iwanako?
The heart girl, the girl who gave him the first heart attack.
Oh, yeah.
She cast the heart attack spell on him.
Oh,
when he
yeah.
tried to ask her out.
I had no idea why she would write to me. I haven't been in contact with anyone from my old school since I transferred to Nunako. Is the last person I expect to want to write me a letter. The last time I saw Iwanako was terribly awkward, embarrassingly so. She came to my hospital room, peeled me an apple out of courtesy, and then we practically sat in silence for half an hour. She said goodbye and didn't even look me in the eye when she closed the door.
Women never look in the eye.
It might have been a natural end to the series of visits that they were probably pretty painful for both of us. Every time she visited me in the hospital, I wanted to talk to her, but something stopped me every time. Every time that I didn't speak made the next time even harder. God dang it. Iwanako always had this aura of fragility around her, as if she'd shatter into pieces of the slightest disturbance. Initially, I think it might have been that deluxe disease that distracted me to her, but after what happened back then, it felt as if she really had shattered. She looked so sad that I didn't want to say anything that might upset her, and I never could figure out the right words to say. I told her that it wasn't her fault. She nodded, and I really think she understood that if it hadn't been that, then sooner or later something else would have made my heart give out. She looked so hopelessly sad every time she opened that door and entered my room. So I never managed to say the things I wanted to say. In the end, that might have hurt her even more.
Holy snap. That's a lot of Jap letters.
It is. Carefully, I opened the envelope and draw out the folded letter from within. That's not Japanese.
Japanese?
Yeah, Japan. That's not Japanese. Yeah, Japanese. Dear Hisao, how are you? I hope you are well and happy at your new school. Everyone here misses you. Almost all of our second-year class got put together in Class 3-1 for the following year, so we were pretty comfortable right from the beginning of the year. I'm sure you would have been assigned to this class as well.
What was the point of that?
You know, to make him feel bad, apparently.
That's what it sounded like.
The mood among the third year seems to be very anxious about the final exams, even though they are so far away. The teachers are battering us about it all the time. Even old Mr. Tachibana, who is, by the way...
Not Takibana?
Who's, by the way, our homeroom teacher this year. Would you believe it? I was sure that he'd retire after our second year, but here he is, nagging everyone about studying for exams.
I don't think there's that much written on that letter.
I think things like that are in the main reason why the mood among the third years is so nervous. I must admit that I'm somehow losing confidence in myself as well, even though I've already fared reasonably well in exams. It's so weird to think that we are already seniors, isn't it? Time has really flown past. I wonder where it went. The new first year seems so young and somehow really innocent. I kept wondering if I was like them in the first year. I've been feeling nostalgic like this for the whole first trimester.
Trimester? What is this? Like what? What is
I was about to say pregnancy, but...
What?
That's how they measure pregnancy in trimesters.
Really?
Yeah.
Honestly, confirmed denied?
Yes, they do.
Ew, it's gross.
It's the first trimester where none of the human baby parts are actually formed.
Human baby
Second trimester where it's the baby is like a baby, but it can't really survive on its own. And then the third trimester is when the baby could survive on its own, but it's still developing inside the womb, and it's not ready to be born until it's done.
That's disgusting.
Cool.
Good to know we have this trivia master on pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
There are other things I want to say. I'm writing to you because I felt that there are other things I should have said after the incident back in winter. I really regret that I wasn't able to say them in person, and I have no excuse for it.
Drop her in, go with her. She's prettier.
You say that, but I don't even remember what she looks like.
She's got long hair, presumably. I can't remember either.
See?
Hey, people's arms are pretty. I can't help it. I can't wait to be hated if anyone ever watches these.
Yeah, somebody's gonna be like, I don't have arms.
How are you typing this?
They're using a headset. You can use headsets to speak type.
Whatever. They look like arms because it doesn't accurately portray what you're trying to type. I would assume.
You know, it'd work somehow, I'm sure. The truth is, the times when I visited you at the hospital made me worried about you. I'm not talking about your health. You seem to become more distant and disheartened. It was natural after something like that happened, I'm sure, but somehow I got the feeling that you had given up on something back then. Happiness, maybe? I wanted to somehow express my feelings, but the right words didn't come to me. I couldn't say anything to comfort you. I'm really sorry for not being able to support you when it mattered the most, even though I liked you so much. At least now, finally, I can be more honest.
So she cares about you more than Rin ever could. I think the choice is clear.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going back there.
You know.
He's going to run back there and have a heart attack on the way. So you can give me another heart attack, damn it.
This is the great thing
Keep
about...
doing this.
It's just the really great thing about Katawa Shoujo, because it's well written, can be heartfelt, and then whenever somebody makes a joke about it, it's just super dark humor. It's great.
What about this game has been heartfelt so far?
You know, except for this whole letter we've been reading.
Well, I wouldn't consider that, but whatever.
At the beginning of the game?
That was heartfelt to you?
A little bit.
That gummit, I have no heart.
Love isn't heartfelt?
I don't have a heart, okay?
Exactly, so it
noticed.
can't be felt.
Gee, you both agree.
That's his disability. He doesn't
The
have a heart.
absence of your heart, it's nothing. It's
Dale,
nothing.
it's not a disability.
Just
That's
the concept of you having no heart.
see, Dale, that's an ability. That's not a disability. Because if I ever get shot there, boom, nothing happens to me.
Yeah, you know, except all the meat and bone get shot.
So, I don't need
You'll
that.
still be in pain.
I will be in pain, but I won't die.
Also, they could just shoot you in the head and you die anyways.
No,
What, you know? Oh yeah, I forgot you also don't have a brain.
that's true. I can prove that.
Anyways, if I go back to those quiet days in February and March, I'd tell you to not give up on yourself. That's what I would say. Maybe you wouldn't have drifted so far away if I just said something. I hope you've managed to get back on your feet on your own. Now that the distance between us is also physical, it also feels more final somehow. I wonder if we will meet again. Perhaps it's for the best if we don't. Still, if you would like to correspond with me, by all means write me back. I'd very much like to hear about your new school and how you're doing. I wish you the best. Sincerely, Iwanako.
Do it. Send her a pic of your body. Say this is what you're missing out on.
Send her a dropkick through the mail.
You can't send a dropkick through the mail, Dale.
You say that.
You have to take a picture of it with your phone and then send it like that.
Just send one of those old telegrams and be like, this says to dropkick you, so I'm going to dropkick you.
Now that works.
Just take out your camera, eat a Pringle, and then drop the camera.
Kick
Send
drop?
that to her.
You can't kick drop things.
Yeah, you
Why?
You can drop kick things.
Oh, yeah.
You can kick drop.
Well, I said kick drop the first time. Anyways, go back. You skipped one.
You skipped one.
After finishing reading this letter, I fold it like it was and place it on my desk. I don't know what to think of this. I feel empty and confused. Why now, after all this time? Just yesterday, I decided that I can't let myself stay like this, and I try to get on top of my life. Reading this letter just reminds me of what could have been.
What can still be? Come on, man. It's not too late.
Yeah, just run back there, have another heart attack, end up in the hospital.
Drive,
Right
Dale,
there.
drive. Taxi's alive.
Taxis are alive. Taxis are alive. He really is Kenji. He's making up conspiracies. So I wish that I didn't have to be here. I'd want to be in the same class with Iwanako again. We would talk every day now and go on dates. My life didn't go like that. I didn't really need to be reminded of this. Iwanako needed to write this letter for her own sake, and I'm glad for her that she could, but it would have been better if I hadn't read it. Of course, she's right. I thought of the same thing yesterday. I had fallen into a pit of depression and now had to try to climb out. I ripped out a page from my notebook, and after a moment of thinking, had to frame my words, write a short reply to Iwanako. I find it difficult to be honest to her, but at least I try to appear somewhat convincing. I don't write her about Yomaku at all. I doubt she will write me again, but I don't feel at all sad about it. I fold my own letter to her, and as I have no envelope, set it next to Yonako's. I'll mail it to her later. Then I lie back on my bed, looking at the monotone gray ceiling.
Seems like a beige.
You know, I'm sure the ceiling is gray. Like, I don't think they made the ceiling the same color as the walls. A bird sings outside of my window, and a sudden gust of wind flutters my curtains. The summer afternoon feels still, as if time had stopped for a brief moment. I think about all the things I've lost and will never regain.
Jeez.
He's going through grief.
what if I regret something?
Let's see here. The 5 stages. There's... What is it?
Denial.
Sadness.
It's denial, anger.
Denial, anger, bargaining, sadness, and acceptance.
Yeah, sadness and acceptance. Thank you, Majora's Mask.
What happened to regret?
Regret's not in there.
Everyone regrets things with their grief. You always
Regrets?
wish you could have done things better. It's called regret.
Yeah, but that's not part of grief.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
something- That's something completely different.
When you're grieving, you regret. You're like, I wish I could have done more with the person or whatnot.
That's
You
like
know,
part
that-
of bargaining and sadness.
Yeah, I guess so. Thus the languid days of mid-June passed by. I mailed my letter to Iwanako and received no reply. Having decided this is the old me, I started observing my fellow students even closer than I did before, hoping to understand how other people cope with their own issues. I started seeing things I didn't before, and it made me wonder if I'd been wrong twice.
Ghosts.
Superficially, everyone is abnormal, yet so strikingly normal that it shocked me at first. I admired the way my new schoolmates turned my prejudices around just like that, simply by being themselves. Now that I've gotten used to it, I began noticing other kinds of tones in the people surrounding me every day. There's a soft, numb sadness all around me. I can see the effort everyone has to make just to get through the day and how it weighs on their shoulders like it weighs on mine. Even the brightest smile is just slightly subdued, every outburst of annoyance just slightly dampened. It's subtle, but it's definitely there. I try to think what it means, what I can learn from others. I wonder if deep down everyone is as lost as I am. Is there even one person here who has truly found peace? I start to feel doubtful about myself once again.
Nice job, guy.
I can't decide whether these people are happy, unhappy, or if they've just learned to cope and now live in an unfeeling limbo like I did all spring. I escape from these feelings into the towering piles of books I carry to my room from Yuko's sanctuary. After realizing that this will just shut me down even more, I start going to the art club's room more often, usually whenever I can. Rin too seems to spend more time in there than in her own classroom. I've often seen her totter towards the door at the very end of the corridor. That one door in the room behind it, smelling of paint and paper, seems to mean more to her than the rest of the world combined. She says she has special permission to use the room, which I don't doubt at all. I don't think Nomiya would deny Rin anything. He seems to dote on her like an uncle upon a favorite niece. They got my nose.
Cocaine.
Yeah.
Don't do that to you.
Dang it.
You're not helping your case here, Dale.
The object of his affection, however, has no favorites. She says she appreciates the teacher a lot for going the extra mile for her sake, but even when she says that, her expression is the same as always. It's as if she was talking about a particularly unremarkable rock that she saw the other day. I can't really figure out their relationship. Rin doesn't seem to let anyone close. I don't think even Emmy could say she's crossed the gap that seems to separate Rin from the rest of the world. I don't understand it. She seems so indifferent yet so passionate at the same time. Somehow the school bell rings the last call of the day.
Somehow.
Yeah, somewhere. Somewhere. Somehow. I realize I've been zoning out for who knows how long. Days I sit up straight or trying to look as inconspicuous as possible. The pungent smells of linseed oil and turpentine mix in my nostrils as I draw a deep breath. I feel drowsy and lightheaded.
Well, we got high.
Yep, it's alright this late and a few club members left early, so it's just me, Rin, the teacher, and 2 other girls who are also about to leave. Rin is sitting to my right, slowly working on a painting while I'm idling the time away. I don't think she realizes I've been watching her the whole time.
What a stalker.
With a nimble move of her delicate ankle, she dips the brush into the paint and presses it lightly onto the canvas. A stain spreads around as if the brush was bleeding.
Ooh, that's a description.
Her progress has slowed down to a crawl. By now I've learned that this is dangerous for her technique, as the paint must not be allowed to dry before she's finished. It occurs to me that I'm literally watching paint dry, and yet somehow I'm not feeling bored despite spacing out just now. Most of the time, the art club is very relaxed and freeform. Apart from times when Nomiya gets really excited about some technique or style he wants to teach us about, everyone is free to pursue their own interests. Liking when I keep floating around without a direction. I try this and that, and nothing really leaves me with a deeper impression. Not to mention that I don't seem to have a special knack for anything. Well, I did get praise for my attempt at watercolors, and I felt pretty good about that myself, but that's it. I suppose it's to be expected. I joined the art club mostly on a whim, after all. I'm thinking that maybe I should quit the club, if it's going to be this pointless. But there's nothing really wrong with pointlessness, and I can't exactly say I'm unhappy. Unsatisfied maybe, but I've only got myself to blame for that. As the pair of girls exit the club room with a cheerful bye-bye, Nomiya stands up from his desk. His chair scoots back with a loud screech that breaks the harmony of the quiet afternoon. He taps a pile of papers in his hands twice against the tabletop in order to straighten them, then stretches his back. I have a faculty meeting to attend, so I can't stay. I'll have to do some paperwork later, so if you want to stay, we can talk then. Sorry about this. There are two people here, but he's really talking to only one of us. Nomiya spends extra hours of his time mentoring Rin after official club hours are over. I'll bet he'd like to discuss his plan of getting Rin's paint... Let's hear. Rin's art into the gallery a little more.
It's not art today, it's just paint.
And listen, I can't see because the Skype icons are right there.
Move the Skype icon!
I can't because I have the bad connection thing and it won't go away. It's alright. I think I'll probably be here, but it's not a big deal if I'm not. I don't really have much going now. Rin answers to that, moving her eyes from her work in progress. The tone of her voice is neither the polite kind expected when talking to a teacher, nor her usual monotone. So I won't need to send a search party if you aren't here? Yes, no thanks. I don't like to party. We can talk later.
Missed it.
Good girl.
There you go.
Smiling, the teacher picks up the rest of his papers and makes his way to the door. I glance at the clock above it and then at my watch to double check. They're 3 minutes apart, but nevertheless, the closing meeting time is over now. Rin seems intent on staying here to work on her piece while waiting for the teacher. I can't quite imagine what their one-on-one time would be like. Would they actually discuss anything? Rin's always so subdued in what she says, and when she does say something, it's difficult to understand what she's talking about. Maybe Nomiya just talks endlessly like he does at club meetings, letting Rin absorb what she will from his infinite well of art knowledge, like a sunflower turning to face the glowing sun. Do you mind if I stay? I thought maybe I'd give watercolors another try. I blurt out the excuse, sort of accidentally embarrassing myself. Rin doesn't take her eyes off her painting. Okay. I shift around in my chair, then get to fetching a couple water brushes, colors, and some paper. The sound of my footsteps invades the still afternoon air. My nose. Before starting, I try to recall what the teacher told us, an important philosophy of the medium. Working with watercolors means more working with water than working with color. I try to keep that in mind, and let's see. I can't read that bottom part.
And dip my tiny sable brush into the water cup. See, when I worked with watercolor, I always used more paint than water because I am terrible at watercolor.
I'm mixing yellow and blue, trying to capture the sunlit treetops outside of the window. Though the sun is low, so the yellows are more pronounced and everything looks darker. I still can't quite connect to what I see with what my hand does with the paints, but it's a passable attempt for my level. I almost said pants.
Yeah.
After a while, I started losing my focus and moved the paper aside, deciding to watch Rin work for a while instead. That little while stretches first into a long while, then into a really long while. Rin paints, her entire being fully concentrated on the brush between her slender toes and the painting coming to life one stroke at a time. She seems determined and yet at the same time relaxed, effortlessly moving the brush around, never hesitating. Colors meet and part, mix and cover each other on the canvas, blending to her quiet will. I don't know anything about composition structure or any of that stuff, but I really like Rin's paintings. I like how she looks when she paints. As usual, the science between us compels me to speak rather than merely wait for her to open up. She might end up saying nothing at all. Do you mind if we talk? I don't mind. I kind of want to ask more about why you get so weird about this thing the teacher wants to arrange for you. Rin picks up a tube of paint and squeezes it between her toes on my palette almost as easily as someone with opposable thumbs would. Taking up a brush again, she replies. A lot of things, and some not things. None things. I don't think that's a word. Do you want to talk about it? I try to reach out to her clumsily, ignoring the embarrassing feeling of awkwardness. Rin keeps her focus on the painting, spreading more and more paint on the canvas, her tip forming a perfectly straight line as she concentrates on the job. Not really. Talking is hard. I mean, it's not hard. I'm talking even now, but saying the right things is really hard for me. No matter what, I just can't say the things I want. It sounds weird. It's true. I say all kinds of things I don't really mean all the time. And sometimes I forget words and then I use the wrong words. I even come up with new words for things that already have some. That's the way I think.
That's not what she says at all. So that's the worst thing.
Oh. That's the worst thing. Well, here's the thing. Keep in mind the Skype icons. I can't see them.
Excuses.
I can't read through something.
Excuses.
I can't read through a completely opaque
Go
object.
better eyes.
I get really nervous and everything comes out a mess, and I don't really understand what I want to say. I think there's something wrong with me that makes it like this. Remember when I said I can only think of 4 things at the same time? I nod wordlessly. It's not really 4. I mean, it is 4, but everything else is also there kind of in the background. Like being at an amusement park and a beehive at the same time. But that's not the point. I used to do better. Like 6 or 7 things. I think so at least. I feel like I'm becoming dumber. I think everyone has times when they feel like they can't say the right things. But it's there all the time, stronger and deeper. Yeah, deeper is a good word. I like that word, deeper.
Yeah, she'll like that word soon enough, right?
It's that feeling of being underwater. Maybe it's just art. The more I paint, the more words I forget. Maybe at some point I'll forget how to speak completely.
I need Guff to make those jokes with me again.
It feels like I'm slowly forgetting everything. Do you remember what you thought about things 3 or 4 years ago? I don't. A long pause ensues, during which time seems to bend around itself, almost tying itself into a knot. I don't think I've ever heard Rin talk this earnestly and for so long about anything before. It's like I'm fading away from the world. Rin sort of stopped his work on the canvas, and she's staring at her painting, unmoving, as if gazing at some faraway horizon. Sunlight briefly glints the corner of her onyx eyes. Something floats up into the top layer of Rin's being, and she lets out a long breath. Then she blinks, and it's gone. Paintings stay behind. When I look at my old things, I remember what I was thinking back when I made them. Then they make me feel like I could be with all the past me's when I was a different me. I guess they are the proof of my existence. She's the exact same words Namita used when he spoke to us of the nature of art. I didn't think Rin was paying any attention back then. I wonder if she was listening or whether she had heard them. Let's see here. If she had heard
the same passionate speech.
The same passionate speech from Namita before.
There you go.
Either way, I feel overwhelmed. Boy, are you complicated. I would have taken up writing a diary. Her eyes quickly flicker to my direction and back at the painting, but she doesn't pick up the brush anymore. That's a great idea. Why didn't I ever think of that? Are you being sarcastic? What's sarcasm? I don't call her on the joke if it is one. Right at that moment, Nomiya returns from his meeting. He waves to us a very melodramatic hello, mildly surprised to see me here along with his pet student, walking with a boisterous gait.
To his desk, he drops his papers upon it.
Alright. He picks up a handkerchief and cleans his glasses with incredibly meticulous care before walking over to us. Before he's within earshot of us, Rin says something to me in a quick, quiet voice. Change is the scariest thing in the world to me. I seriously don't know if I want to change into a person who could do the thing the teacher wants me to do. I don't know if I could even if I wanted to. Hello again. Hello. Hello.
There you go.
What's going on? He smiles a bit sheepishly, looking at both of us with uninhibited interest. Nothing. We were just talking about that thing with your acquaintance in the gallery. For Rin's work, sort of. Oh, any decisions? I look at Rin, who was trying to arrange the bothered expression on her face into something else. Anyway, I don't think I have much else to say other than that you should go for it.
3 choices. Have fun with this.
one.
Alright, Odyssey.
I don't think I have much else to say other than that you should go for it.
Alright, Odyssey.
Yes, good luck on this one.
No! Quit it with your good luck.
I hate you right now.
Best of luck.
I'm gonna... But wait, this is like, what is that? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? You're his
Let's see
contact.
here. Yeah, you're my contact, so I haven't done
Would you
that.
like to phone a friend?
Yes.
Okay, call Guff.
Guff isn't
You're
online.
the friend I'm phoning.
Then
That's
you
why you're in
can't phone a friend.
This is the reason you're in this call, right here.
I am the
Holy
host.
cow! Alright, so help us.
It's here. I feel like the middle one would make the most sense, but I don't want to pick it yet.
Take your time, Dale. Or you could stop now and pick this up later.
Don't make me do that.
That's pretty interesting choices.
Yeah, I feel like it's the middle one, but I don't. Here's the thing, if we stop now, I'd probably look it up later and then tell us what it is. And I
Jeez,
don't
Dale,
wanna
you cheater, pumpkin eater.
I would do that. Let's see here. Maybe exciting, that's probably not it. You're wasting your talents otherwise.
Just go for the middle one like you want to do.
You know what? Yeah, I'm going to go for the middle one.
'Cause in the end, that's what you're going to choose anyways.
Yeah, because she doesn't like change. This isn't like you. You told me that people should do things... You told me that people should do things they can't just because they can't. And now you're being all wishy-washy yourself about something this important. I don't think I want to talk about
No,
that.
you lost! You lost!
Say that.
Can you just bust over the door? Throws you out the window, not even a drink.
I'm going. When he stands up and trots out of the room without anyone saying anything more.
This is good.
I'm sorry, I think I made her upset. Don't worry about it. She'll be fine, I'm sure. I'll talk to her later. Amiya looks at me with his over his circular pink glasses, smiling sympathetically. You've made friends with her then, Nakai? Well, something like that, I guess. Depends on how you look at it. To be honest, I'm not really sure. It's more like me and Rin just tend to hang out around each other irregularly, talking or not about something that more often resembles some twisted mockery of philosophy rather than normal, everyday things that friends should talk about.
Chat about.
Yeah, chat. Oh, well, that's all good, isn't it? You're a new student, and we should be prompting integration into the student body and such. I can't remember all the buzzwords they spew at faculty and Yamada Foundation...
Yamada?
Yamaku Foundation meetings, but I think that's how it is.
Still, get better internet. It's that easy. Just get the internet. Grab it.
That wasn't the internet problem. That was me messing up.
Oh.
Tezuka isn't the most social person around these parts either. Yeah, that's definitely true. So she's talked about my suggestion to you? Oh, no, not really. I think it's been more me pressing her to decide something. Maybe I shouldn't have. No, I'm sure it's fine. I'm too soft with her, even when I shouldn't. I don't really know how to handle Tezuka. She's so independent and willful. I wonder if this is what every old geezer and art teacher who got his hands on a young and fiery prodigy felt like. Prodigy. Not a protege. I just mixed the words.
What's the difference?
Hey, you know, protege and prodigy. They're kind of the same thing.
What's the difference?
Protege is more like a student. A prodigy doesn't necessarily is a student. It's more just someone who's really gifted. Protege is specifically a student who's really gifted.
So protege would have been better here.
Yeah. He chuckles ironically to himself a little bit, turning to face Rin's latest work, which she left drawing on the easel. She departed so abruptly that I wonder if she considers it finally finished. So, let's see the painting then. He leans in closer, peering at the canvas. It draws you in, doesn't it?
He got pretty close to you.
Why is it drawing me in? Why is it drawing you into me?
Into you.
Yeah. Nomiya stands back straight, his face a dreamy, nostalgic visage. I don't answer him as he seems to be taking my agreement as a given. I sometimes stay here after hours just to look at Tezuka's paintings. She's really just prodigious, and at such a young age, it gets shivers from just from thinking of what she could become within a few more years of refinement.
Yes.
You asked what makes an artist, remember? This is it. They take a piece of the world and reshape it in their own image. Metaphorically, of course. Looking at her makes you wonder what the world looks like through her eyes. It's a wonderful thing to be young and full of passion. The most extraordinary time of your life. You would do well to remember that, Nakai.
Ooh, passion.
Yes, sir. It's so silly. People always ask artists, where do you get your ideas? As if ideas were something sold at the market for pocket change.
I wish.
You can't explain inspiration. For people like Tezuka, it's like breathing. It's an instinct. I've been maybe one or two with the same kind of raw potential, but no amount of potential will amount to anything if one doesn't work to realize it. It's practice. Techniques, skill. Draw for an hour every day for a few years, and even the most hopeless case becomes a passable artist. Tezuka is not brilliant because she was born in a natural talent for this kind of thing. She's brilliant because she works harder than anyone, ever since she learned to hold a pen, most likely.
Sounds like Colombo to me.
And all of it with her feet, no less. Absolutely phenomenal.
Columbo doesn't use his feet, except to walk.
Yep. I mean, he does. I mean, he does use his feet to walk, like you said.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said except to walk.
Yeah. Silence finally lands in the club room as Nomiya lets himself get drawn back into Rin's painting, gently murmuring acceptance toward the still wet canvas.
That's scary.
What kind of things do you paint yourself? As if walking from a reverie, he looks at me, surprised by me talking to him. Oh, I don't. Not anymore. I became an art teacher only after my career in that field came to an end. Now I just pass on knowledge to the next generation. The way Nomiya answers is curious, both giving and withholding information. I feel like asking more, but he cuts in before I get the chance. Now you should run along, my boy. It's almost dinner time, isn't it?
Like he would know.
Yeah, he's not even wearing a watch. Yes, sir. Have a good evening. You too. I quickly collect my stuff and step out into the deserted hallway, except for that picture. Maybe the
There you
teacher
go.
will his musings.
I was worried you almost forgot.
The weekend will be here soon. It's amazing how fast time flies here. I promised Sammy I'd join her for the celebration of her triumph at the track meet last week. That should be plenty of fun.
Fun is subjective. Or up to, I don't know. Fun is something.
Transition!
Who
Instead
then?
of transmission.
Instant transition.
Yeah. We transition through time.
Instantly.
Exactly. Are you sure you want to go? The weather has been wonderful for all of June. The wonder that has been wonderful for all of June has finally taken a turn for the worse. The leaden clouds drooping over the town look worrisome, and the air feels heavy and still, just like before now.
Rain.
For rain. The forecast says there's a 60% chance of rain this afternoon. Maybe this will mark the beginning of the rainy season. Of course I'm sure. I've been waiting for this all week.
I mean, drowns in the sky.
While fighting a clown, you drown in the clouds.
Is that possible?
Maybe. Honestly,
Alright.
are clouds so thick that you can drown in them?
Yes.
Ooh, that's cool. So
Chiga,
we can dry in midair?
you're gonna be fighting a cloud and drown.
No, I don't have to breathe in the air.
It's like
you
just trying.
just go skydiving with an oxygen tank on your back.
Here's the
You can
thing.
just go straight into the ocean because he already has the submarines.
Here's the thing. I can't swim, honestly. If I went straight into the ocean, I would die.
Good.
Also, I feel like the pressure going onto that tank will make it explode.
Probably.
Most likely.
Here's the thing, Dale. I only have like 1 second to go through the cloud. So as soon as I drop, I have 1 second to punch the cloud and like kill it before I hit the ground.
No, you probably have a couple seconds.
Yeah,
If
you
it's
probably
a
have a little bit
thunderhead.
more time before you hit the ground.
Okay. That'd be like a couple 100 feet, 1,000 really. Terminal velocity is not that fast for people.
I don't know.
So you'd
man.
have like about 25 seconds probably.
Maybe.
And he had planned a picnic at some nearby park, which with snacks plenty brought from the convenience store, but with the weather this gloomy, it seems risky. Oh, someone's going to get struck by lightning. I feel like it.
Ooh.
I asked some other people to come too, but they didn't want to go because of the weather. We have to prove them wrong.
It's all because you answered that one question.
Yeah, wrong how. You know, like how it always rains when you think it won't, and when you think it will, it doesn't? We'll go no matter what, so it's a win-win situation. I've been going without sweets for weeks because of practice for the strike meet, but now I can splurge on anything I want. Nothing is going to stop me now.
What if their shirts get all wet, huh? What then?
You know, it's better for me. Speaking as a sow, it's better for me. I thought you were all about a healthy lifestyle and stuff. Oh, Esau, you understand so little. There's no single girl on this planet who doesn't love sweets.
I beg to differ.
All right. I don't like sweets.
There I go.
Apparently, she also begs to differ. She doesn't count. Anyway, is this clear? Does she not count as a female, or?
Well, I mean, according to Kenji, she doesn't, so therefore she's not.
She's wearing a male uniform, so.
Yeah, all the facts point to Rin being
Also, she's
male.
missing female arms.
Female arms.
Anyways, completely. We will go and eat our fill of sweets. And straight we will.
Wash your mouth out with soap. Now. Do it.
I
Just
got that-
leap. Pounce.
Drop kick.
Drop kick the soap into her mouth.
I'm going to have to work it up later, but it's so worth it. Amy seems to be extremely determined about this. She's positively exhilarated, brimming with energy as always, but something seems special today.
I remember the first time I washed my mouth out with soap. It was when I told my sisters no.
They're like, no, you don't say that word. It's a bad word.
Yeah, that was an interesting time.
It looks like she can hardly stop herself from jumping up and down on the spot.
It's easy with them spring old legs.
Yep, boing, boing, boing.
You didn't read this yet, Dale.
You just stop doing it. I read that.
You didn't. You said...
I said, come on.
You said... And I cut you off.
Look,
Finish it.
Come on.
There you
come
go.
on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. I grasped the wooden handle of the umbrella I bought and started to follow the two girls, who seemed to have no qualms about leaving me behind if I keep dreaming of the day. My umbrella is really fancy, the old-fashioned kind with a curved handle and a metal spike at the end. Used to belong to my grandfather. It looks like an antique, but it's in really good shape. Almost...
As good as new.
Okay. It's really big, too. I remember how my grandmother... I fit neatly under it when a rainstorm caught us. So an afternoon, we walked years ago, when I was around 9 or 10.
He's got gay grandfathers?
No, technically everybody has two grandfathers.
Yes, well, unless one died.
You know. In theory, everyone should have two grandfathers.
Should.
Alive or dead.
Well, unless they're not married.
You know. Well, that's still their grandfather.
Synthetic sperm.
I don't think that exists. Oh my gosh. My parents are both gone now, but I still have the umbrella to keep me dry when it rains. Oh man. Women truly don't need men anymore. Now we have synthetic sperm. Kenji was right. His conspiracy was right. They're taking over the world.
It's true. I remember when I was talking to Brittany, I asked her, I was like, soon women will just keep men frozen for their sperm. And she didn't laugh or disagree. And I was like, do you actually believe that?
And she's like, you know, it can happen.
That was basically her response.
All right. That's great. God. Sorry. We walk along the road leading down from the school towards the convenience store, the clouds casting their dark shadow down on us. The weather seems to be taking a turn for the worse, and I am pretty sure I just felt a raindrop on my head. Didn't you guys think of taking umbrellas? It really looks like it'll rain. Rain looks at her limply hanging sleeves and shrugs her shoulders. I don't have one. Besides, a little rain won't kill us.
Might get pneumonia.
You know. It just goes into her no arms.
No, pneumonia can't do that.
You know. You know, rain can just crawl up her arms.
Her non-arms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that makes sense.
It does.
She pushes her chest out, looking very confident about it. We are made of sugar. I thought that's exactly what girls are made of, especially considering what you're planning to gorge yourself on today. She just sticks out her tongue in reply. The walk down from the school to the local shopping district is not a long one, but it's very short either. It's all downhill, so our steps are a little easy, but time stretches out nevertheless. The distance is right there in that gray area where you don't expect the trip to be quickly over with, but you aren't preparing for a long walk either.
You know how I sometimes have weird dreams? It is mentioning sugar reminded me of my sister today. So my sister's telling me her dream. It was weird. She just brought it out of nowhere. We're carrying stuff down the stairs because she's moving. She's like, I had a weird dream last night. I had a dream I was playing Street Fighter and winning, and then a witch came and killed us all. I was just like, yeah, that's my sister.
That's a great dream. This is a dream is slightly too long to stay comfortable quiet the whole time, but the girls don't seem to mind. Rin walks calmly ahead, seeming lost in thought. I'm kind of worried about starting conversations. This last time didn't end very well for either of us. I haven't exchanged a single word with her since then. I might have picked the wrong choice. Emmy, on the other hand, is way too happy about just walking. She seems to literally jump a little on every step, or skip over cracks, or balance on the edge of the sidewalk. Every now and then she comments on something, to which Rin replies in an automatic-sounding...
nonsensical way that makes Emmy giggle a little.
Okay. As we reach the bottom of the hill, the first raindrops begin to fall. I feel one hit the top of my head, then two more hit my nose in quick succession. It's not one or two rain clouds anymore. The entire sky has turned shadowy gray, billowing rain clouds swirling right on top of us. Oh shoot, I guess we aren't going to have a picnic then. What now? Maybe we could have a rain picnic. A picnic in rain. No, we'd all catch a cold, and I don't like getting me or my snacks wet. I kind of like it. Not the snacks part, though.
Your shirts aren't even wet. I didn't pay for this.
Maybe
You didn't pay for anything.
You don't know.
Exactly, it's free.
Yes,
do.
I could have gotten this on one of them bootleg Chinese sites.
Why would you pay for it when you can get it for free?
I don't know. Apparently there's a Russian site that sells the Barkley game, which is a free game.
And you can't even pay stuff for. You can't buy stuff online. We've been over this.
I know, but what if I did? This one time. What if this would stop me from
He has like a
ever
Swiss
again?
bank account that we don't know about.
I wish.
Emmy considers our problematic situation for a moment while I open my umbrella and lift it up, trying to hold it so that all three of us get covered. Hey, Sal, have you been to the Shanghai yet?
They're finally getting there?
It's a cafe somewhere around here, right? I've heard of it. It's a nice place. Let's go there and wait out the rain. If it's just a really quick shower, we can still go for the picnic. If it gets work, let's just order cake there instead.
When we get to the place, we should probably stop for the day.
How much have we got?
We got 63 megabytes.
Okay. Neither Rin nor I have better ideas, so with Emmy taking the lead, we start walking briskly along a side street. The cafe's only a few blocks away, but even with the umbrella, we can't avoid getting slightly damp. The rain keeps coming down harder and harder. Raindrops leave tiny dots on the black asphalt road, which then combine into bigger patches like pointless artwork being made in front of our eyes in mere seconds. Excuse me. It's pouring heavily, drumming on the hoods of the cars parked on the side of the street and already flowing little creeks along the sidewalks. The yellow light shining through the rainwater streaming down the windows looks very warm and inviting. I shake the excess water off the umbrella and head inside with them, following Emmy to a vacant table in the furthest corner of the small cafe. The place is almost full. Apparently other people have had the same idea as Emmy, and now we are all stranded together here in this cozy little place. Varnished wooden pillars and paper screens mixed with Parisian-style tables and chairs in discordant harmony, a contrast of old and new. Light jazz plays quietly in the background, though it's mostly drowned out by the murmur of the customers. There's only one waitress serving the full house, frantically gliding from one table to another and trying to keep up with everything. To my surprise, I think I recognize her. I watch her deliver a tray of teacups and pastries to another table taken by Yamaku students, then take an order from a middle-aged couple sitting across from us before finally turning to serve us.
Wait, weren't we supposed to start when we got here?
You know. How about we stop just here?
Alright. Yuko, dun dun dun.
She works 2 jobs. Dun dun dun.
Oh no.
Almost 11 hours.
Yep. How long does yours take, Odyssey?
4?
My one with Hanako took 11 hours, and I wasn't even reading out loud and with interruptions.
Yep.
Oh, is that how long Hanako takes? 11 hours?
Took that long for me.
Well, it'll probably take. I'm gonna just go ahead and make an estimate. The way this is going is probably gonna end around 13 or 14 hours.
Maybe. These episodes are incredibly long.
Only on Act 2, though, right?
Yeah, we're still only on Act 2.
Yeah, there's 4 acts. It's probably going to be like 30 hours at this rate.
Well, maybe Rin doesn't go through all 4 acts.
She does. I've played the game. I know.
All right, how long did it take you to beat Rin's story?
4 hours.
You play this way too quick.
Dale,
I read at not a horrible pace.
how do you feel about your decisions this episode?
I'm not sure if I made the wrong decision. Like, let's see here. There's been, 2 decisions this time? The first decision that feels right, but the one when she was in the art room I feel like might have been wrong, but may have been also been right. It's one or the other, but I'm not 100% sure on either.
It felt like a wrong right in the long run, but wrong in the short term.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
There's a lot of ones like that where there's just no good answer presented at the time, and there's a forced conflict.
That's been like every single one of them so far.
Pretty much.
Except for the one that I knew. It's like, I gotta pick this or I won't get to go on.
Get to go on.
I won't get to go.
Alright, that's what we'll end it. The old beatboxing.